my name is Nick. I am the Odd Artisan. Welcome back to my shop. Today I have this new 8-inch low-speed bench grinder from Rikon that I will be unboxing, setting up, and doing a little sharpening of my lathe tools on. So let's check it out. But before we start, I want to mention that this is not a sponsored video in any way. I purchased this with my own money, and any thoughts and ideas are completely my own. Thanks. Going over the features of why I purchased this model. Half horsepower is nothing to brag about, but works on 120 volt circuits, so that's great. This is a low speed bench grinder, which means that it's going to spin at a slower speed than what a traditional run-of-the-mill bench grinder would be around 3,500. This is running at half of that speed. So a slower speed when you're grinding something like lathe tools allows you to control the heat buildup a little bit more efficiently. Standard size arbor for looking at some of the different wheel upgrades I might make down the road. I wanted to make sure that the arbor would be compatible with the other wheels I can purchase. And it comes with two wheels already, a 60 grit and a 120 grit, which is better suited for grinding something like lathe tools out of the box than some other ones which would have coarser grits. And then the rest of it is just the standard safety features. All right, we've got it out of the box. Wheels seem to be attached firmly. Let's plug it in and see how it runs. It's running very well. The wheels look like they could use some truing up, but it's got very low vibration. This seems good. Power that back down, let the wheels come to rest. So to truly true up these wheels, I'm going to need to take out these pieces right here in order to get this going. There we go. Now if I got this, and you can kind of pay attention to the line right here where you see the white to the black, and it's pretty good, but there is a little bit of wobble in this wheel. And so that's what we want to try to eliminate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a straight mark on the wheel so that I have a reference point for where it has started. Loosen this up. There we go. And with this loose, I'm going to give it a little turn. Tighten that back up, just finger tight for now. So I'm just gonna spin it and look at it with my eyes. I notice that that is not getting better, so maybe I'll try to go the other way. And that is pretty good right there. Let me give you a closer look at it now. Here it is readjusted. I've made some other final adjustments. Once I zoomed in on the camera, I noticed that it was more play in it than I thought with my own eyes. But looking at it now, this white line to black is barely moving. So that's good enough for me. And now to do the other side. And so again, if we look at the white and the black contrast, see there's a lot more play on this side. So we're going to try to adjust that. All right, so let's check out this. That's pretty good. That's to my liking. happening over here is I'm struggling to get this piece on because it looks like they tapped the holes for this bolt before they did the powder coating. And so the powder coating goop kind of got into the threads. They must not have had this plugged up by anything in the powder coating process. So now this bolt kind of had to break through the powder coating buildup that was on there before it would start to catch and allow me to screw it in all the way. It's the little things, you know? All right, now that it's all assembled, it's time to dress the wheels. And so it does come with this wheel dresser, but unfortunately it seems like their quality control on these parts is not great. I mean, just in the tubing that was cut away to make this, there's this flashing, this dent in it, which is fine. It's not gonna actually mess with the utility of it, but let's see if I can get the camera to focus in. So you can see it here. There's a chunk of this diamond crust on top that sits very proud of the rest of the surface. So this dressing tool is not very flat, which you want it to be flat to make your wheels flat, but it has the buildup on this side of it where it's right there. There's a blob. There's also a little corner piece here that is going to interfere with its ability to properly dress the wheel. However, the amount of space that there is between that blob and the edge is still enough where I can still fit this on the wheel. It's just that I have to use this edge of the dresser and avoid running it with those blobs of diamond that's crusted onto it. So now it's time to dress the wheel. So here's one of the scraping tools that I have, and it has seen its fair share of use. This was left in the hackerspace, so I don't know who used it or how it was used, but it could use some love. That's just some black marker from a previous time trying to sharpen it. But so since this one just has simple angled profiles, this seems like a good test go of using it with the grinder. All right, and here is the result of that. Got some clean lines in there. There's a little bit of coarseness in the grind. Let's try a different view. Let's see the grind that I got on it. And there's a nice burr at the top lip, which is really what does the work when you're using a shaper tool like this. Up next, we've got a skew. And here's the results of that. Now the last tool that I'm going to do is a roughing gouge. And you can see it's seen some damage. It's had some more times. This one I'm going to try to do freehand on the wheel and see where it goes. I will color this one to get an idea of how my grinding is going, since I am doing it freehand without any reference. And here is the grind that I got on there. I don't think it's too bad for being freehand, but I'm also not an expert, so we'll see how it goes on the lathe though. All right, we're
getting ready to move on to the lathe so that I can test out these tools. Starting off with a piece of purple heart, I'm going to use the roughing gouge to get it to round. Right away, I'm impressed with the results that I'm getting. It seems to be doing a better job than it was even fresh out of the package when I first got these tools from Harbor Freight. I know that's not saying too much, but I was glad to see that the sharpening worked. Then with the skew, I am not a master with it, but I was still happy with the results I was getting on the surface finish. I tried to do some beading, but it's been so long that I just don't know what I'm doing with that anymore. That's something I'll need to practice. Regardless, I was glad to see it was sharp and cutting. I had great luck with the shaper tool as well. The burr had fine powder coming off as I was using it. Not much more to say about it. I'm happy with the results I got with all of these tools, even doing freehand sharpening.
Alright, so we unboxed, set up, and tested out the Rikon low-speed 8-inch bench grinder, and I'm happy with my purchase. I paid about $110 plus tax at a local woodcraft store. It was the best deal I could find for this particular model of grinder, comparing prices on Amazon, Rockler, what have you. So it feels like it's a great value in that it will last me a long time. I can upgrade it in the future. So even when these wheels start to give out of me, I know that the sizing dimensions of this will allow me to buy replacement parts easily, or even upgrade to something like the popular CBN wheels if that's something that I'm inclined to do down the road. The product itself here came nicely packaged. It assembled very easily, save for the issue of the powder coating in the threaded sections for a few bolts. But that's something that was easily fixed and modified. It's just kind of a knockdown for quality control. Same thing to do with the diamond dresser that they have here, where this is almost useless. It was very difficult to dress the wheels with this. Probably something that I will need to purchase a replacement for in the near future. They're only about $5 to $10, so it's not a huge loss, but when it is advertised as coming with this tool and the tool is of this low quality, that's not great. But I can live with it. I was really happy with being able to sharpen my high-speed steels tools, and that's going to open up a whole new kind of realm back in wood turning for me, since I've kind of been relying on my carbide tools, knowing that they're the only sharp things I had to work with. Now I can use my steel tools again and get back into the show, get back into the workshop, get back into the turning, and that's exciting. So I'm glad that this is one of the first purchases that I made as I move into this new space. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to continue on this journey with me as I grow my shop and get back into my crafts, please hit that subscribe button too. Again, thanks. Bye-bye.